if you see the landscape in Latin America, practically all the major global financial executive search firms are working, all the most important one. And I would say that what probably the main difference is that it's a less mature market than in Europe or in the United States. The industry started in these countries 70 years ago, and really has started in Latin America in the last 30 years, 25 years, 20 years. So it is an immature business from the demand standpoint. I would say that if I take, for instance, in Chile, the 500 largest companies, probably the top 30% or 35% do executive recruitment through headhunting firms, and the rest they do it themselves, okay, through the contacts and the typical, very provincial way of sourcing people. So, but I don't see major difference, in terms of practices, policies, procedures, the operating model for search as the processor. In my opinion, they are very similar. When I lived many years in Mexico, in New York, in Brazil also, and I remember that I did headhunting. I hired headhunting firms, and I remember that the process was the same in all the different countries. So this is my view. Huh?
I prepared a paper very recently for one of these clients which Mario describes, where I try to put myself in the shoes of somebody who looks and receives proposal and they all look the same, and how to read between lines and what are the real factors that allow him to make a good decision. So basically what I try to show is what drives the success of a process, which is not the name and not the methodology, it's more the experience and the depth of the analysis and of the research.
I think that this immaturity level of the market constitute a tremendous advantage, I would say, for firms like the firms that are partners, members of AltoPartners in Latin America, that are very formal and structured, firms. So it's a good opportunity because you can create much more value to the clients in this process than just coming with 3 names at the end of the process, or show me 3 candidates or 4 candidates. This is all the process of searching and recruiting management. If it is well done, it really constitutes like a very good experience with the client. It's a client experience very solid because you do hunting, you coach, you mentor, you create a space of intimacy with the client that the typical firms or unprofessional or less professional firms cannot do very well.